Every NFL era explained in 20 minutes. Get ready for a high-speed journey through decades of unforgettable moments, legendary players, and unstoppable dynasties in the National Football League. Today, we're counting down every NFL era in the next 20 minutes, shining a spotlight on the icons who changed the game forever. Grab your snacks, settle in, and brace yourself for an epic ride through football history. From the gritty pre-Super Bowl days all the way to the new generation of unstoppable dual-threat quarterbacks. Number 10. The pre-Super Bowl Era. Before the AFL-NFL merger and before Super Sunday became a national holiday, the NFL was defined by hard-nosed pioneers who played for peanuts and sometimes just pride. One of the earliest legends was Bronco Nagurski, a towering fullback for the Chicago Bears in the 1930s, famous for charging through defenders like a runaway freight train. Standing around 6'2" and 226 pounds, Nagurski was a human bulldozer in pads. Back then, players also worked day jobs, so seeing a part-time salesman level of full-time linebacker wasn't unusual. During these decades, the NFL was still figuring itself out, and teams like the Cleveland Browns, New York Giants, and Green Bay Packers were consistent frontrunners. The Browns, led by head coach Paul Brown, were so dominant that they won every championship in the All-America Football Conference, AAFC, from 1946 to 1949, then joined the NFL in 1950 and promptly won the title in their first season. The Giants, meanwhile, boasted a famed defense and an offensive backfield that helped them secure multiple championship appearances. The Packers, originally coached by team founder Curly Lambeau, notched multiple titles in the 1920s and 1930s, building a passionate fan base in tiny Green Bay, Wisconsin. No discussion of the pre-Super Bowl era is complete without the 1958 NFL championship game between the Baltimore Colts and the New York Giants, often called the greatest game ever played. Colts quarterback Johnny Unitas orchestrated an overtime victory that electrified television audiences and sparked a newfound nationwide love for pro football. This showdown marked a turning point, setting the stage for the modern NFL spectacle. By the early 1960s, the league was blossoming and on the verge of even bigger transformations, leading to official mergers, flashy new teams, and a certain trophy named after one of the greatest coaches in the game. Before we move on to the next one in the list, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you're enjoying this content so far, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch these videos without subscribing. Imagine what we could accomplish if everyone subscribed. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. Thanks to all of you who do. Number 9. The Lombardi Era. With the dawn of the 1960s came one of the NFL's most iconic dynasties, orchestrated by a man whose name would later grace the Super Bowl trophy, Vince Lombardi. When Lombardi took over as head coach of the Green Bay Packers in 1959, the franchise was in a slump. But with a demanding approach that emphasized discipline and execution, Lombardi transformed the Packers into champions seemingly overnight. Under his leadership, Green Bay racked up 5 NFL championships in 7 seasons, including the first 2 Super Bowls ever played. At the heart of Lombardi's dynasty was quarterback Bart Starr, an unassuming leader who thrived in a no-nonsense system. Starr wasn't flashy. He was methodical, cool under pressure, and incredibly efficient, earning MVP honors in the first 2 Super Bowls. The Packers' power sweep became the stuff of legend, a simple yet unstoppable play that showcased the team's emphasis on fundamentals. Lombardi famously summed up his ethos in one enduring phrase: "Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing." But Lombardi's influence went far beyond the field. His fierce dedication to teamwork, his intolerance of racism, and his insistence on perfection turned him into an American sports icon. The result was a culture of excellence that propelled the entire league forward. By the late 1960s, the AFL-NFL merger was knocking at the door, and the Super Bowl was well on its way to becoming the nation's biggest annual sporting event. The Packers proved that a small market team could dominate a professional league, thanks not just to talent, but also to culture, leadership, and a refusal to accept anything short of victory. With Green Bay perched atop the football world, the stage was set for the next wave of dynasties. Number 8. The Steel Curtain. After the AFL-NFL merger became official in 1970, the newly unified league saw the rise of a powerhouse that defined the 1970s, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their defense was nicknamed the Steel Curtain, featuring iconic players like Mean Joe Green, Jack Lambert, Jack Ham, and Mel Blount, names that still send chills down wide receivers' spines. Coached by the stoic Chuck Noll, Pittsburgh built a formidable unit that often seemed impenetrable. Whether shutting down the run or sacking quarterbacks, Pittsburgh's defense left lasting bruises. At quarterback, Terry Bradshaw guided the offense to 4 Super Bowl victories: Super Bowl IX, Super Bowl X, Super Bowl XIII, and Super Bowl XIV, in just 6 years. Bradshaw had a cannon for an arm and a flair for big moments, hooking up with wide receivers Lynn Swann and John Stallworth for countless highlight-worthy plays. Though Bradshaw threw his share of interceptions, he also proved to be a clutch performer when it mattered most. The heart and soul of this team, however, was the defense. Mean Joe Green's ability to dominate the line of scrimmage forced offenses to rethink their blocking schemes, while Lambert's fierceness at linebacker made him a nightmare for running backs and quarterbacks alike. One astonishing feat came in 1976, when the Steelers' defense allowed just 9.9 points per game, showcasing a level of dominance rarely seen. Culturally, the Steelers of the 1970s embodied blue-collar toughness, reflecting the gritty work ethic of Pittsburgh's steel mills. The roar of the terrible towel united fans across western Pennsylvania and beyond. By the end of the decade, the Steelers had carved out one of the greatest dynasties in NFL history, largely because of that ironclad steel curtain. In a league evolving toward offense, Pittsburgh proved that defensive might could still reign supreme. Number 7, the Montana Walsh Era. As the 1980s rolled in, a new brand of football took center stage. Gone were the days of run-heavy smash-mouth strategies. Enter Bill Walsh and his innovative West Coast offense, a system that relied on short, precise passes to spread out defenses and set up big plays. The mastermind behind this revolution was the San Francisco 49ers head coach, and the perfect field general to execute his vision was Joe Montana. His calm demeanor and razor-sharp decision-making earned him the nickname Joe Cool for a reason. Montana, a third-round pick out of Notre Dame, didn't look like your typical superstar quarterback, but give him a 2-minute drill and a deficit, and he was pure magic. The Walsh-Montana tandem led the 49ers to 4 Super Bowl victories: Super Bowl XVI, Super Bowl XIX, Super Bowl XXIII, and Super Bowl XXIV, revolutionizing how passing offenses operated. Wide receiver Jerry Rice emerged as Montana's primary target, eventually becoming one of the greatest pass catchers in NFL history. The West Coast offense thrived on short timing routes, quick slants, and screen passes, methodically wearing down defenses. Once defenders overcommitted to the underneath game, Montana would strike deep, often hitting Rice for a game-changing score. This strategy not only racked up yards but also controlled the clock, keeping opposing offenses on the sidelines. Defensively, stars like Ronnie Lott provided the physical spark needed to complement the offensive prowess. Lott's bone-rattling hits kept receivers wary, while the rest of the 49ers defense excelled at forcing mistakes. Still, it was the Walsh-Montana blueprint that changed the landscape of the NFL. Teams around the league started adopting variations of the West Coast system, recognizing that timing, execution, and precision could be just as punishing as the fiercest rushing attack. The 1980s belonged to San Francisco, and the rest of the league took notes. Number 6, the Dallas Dynasty. The 1990s ushered in the reign of America's team in a new and explosive way. Although the Dallas Cowboys had been a marquee franchise for decades, it wasn't until the 1990s that they rose to their full star power. Led by head coach Jimmy Johnson and later Barry Switzer, the Cowboys claimed 3 Super Bowl championships in a 4-year stretch: Super Bowl XXVII, Super Bowl XXVIII, and Super Bowl XXX, propelled by the trio famously dubbed the Triplets: quarterback Troy Aikman, running back Emmitt Smith, and wide receiver Michael Irvin. Aikman embodied consistency with his accurate throws and calm leadership. Emmitt Smith became one of the greatest workhorse backs the league has ever seen, retiring as the NFL's all-time leading rusher with 18,355 yards. Michael Irvin, nicknamed the Playmaker, brought a fiery presence that ignited the offense in clutch moments. They often celebrated with the iconic U gesture, championed by Irvin, signifying unity and unstoppable confidence. On defense, stars like Charles Haley, Darren Woodson, and eventually Deion Sanders helped form a stingy unit that could shut down top offenses. Jerry Jones, the team's boisterous owner, made waves with his high-profile style and willingness to invest in big names. Off the field, the Cowboys dominated headlines, epitomizing flash and confidence in an era increasingly shaped by mass media and endorsement deals. Critics called them brash, but there was no denying the results. Their success extended the Cowboys brand far beyond Texas, making those silver helmets and the star logo a fixture in pop culture. From primetime showdowns to holiday clashes on Thanksgiving, Dallas was unavoidable and reliably excellent. By the time their dynasty slowed, the Cowboys had redefined the blueprint for building and marketing a dominant NFL franchise. Number 5. The Brady Manning Era. The 2000s belonged to two quarterbacks who turned the position into a chess match, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Their rivalry became an annual spectacle, Brady with the New England Patriots, Manning initially with the Indianapolis Colts, and later the Denver Broncos. Brady started as a sixth-round pick and transformed into a championship machine, while Manning was the cerebral field general who seemed to read defenses like a best-selling novel. Brady and Manning even faced off 17 times, with Brady winning 11 of those matchups. Brady's run kicked off in 2001 when he replaced an injured Drew Bledsoe and led the Patriots to an upset victory over the greatest show on turf, St. Louis Rams, in Super Bowl 36. Manning, meanwhile, lit up scoreboards in Indianapolis, orchestrating one of the league's most explosive offenses alongside Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. Their showdowns in the playoffs felt like watching two grandmasters making move after move, each trying to outsmart the other. Under head coach Bill Belichick, Brady won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, Super Bowl 36, Super Bowl 38, and Super Bowl 39, with clutch play and methodical game plans. Manning finally hoisted the Lombardi Trophy in Super Bowl 41, erasing doubts that he couldn't win the big one. Statistically, Manning broke records left and right, including a then unprecedented 49 touchdown passes in 2004, a record later toppled by Brady. Their encounters helped catapult the NFL's popularity as fans debated which quarterback stood atop the mountain. Brady had the rings and late-game heroics, while Manning had the gaudy stats and pre-snap brilliance. By the end of the decade, both possessed Hall of Fame resumes, and their rivalry had shaped an entire generation of football fans. They weren't just winners. They were icons who redefined modern quarterback play. Number 4. The Legion of Boom. In the early 2010s, the NFL felt like an arms race for high-flying offenses, until the Seattle Seahawks slammed the door with a secondary so fearsome it was dubbed the Legion of Boom. Cornerback Richard Sherman, safeties Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, and a relentless pass rush up front turned Seattle's defense into a weekly nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. Tight end Zach Miller once called matching up against Seattle's secondary a waking nightmare. Led by head coach Pete Carroll, the Seahawks embraced a scheme that was straightforward yet lethal, a single high safety look that required speed, communication, and sheer physicality. Sherman locked down one side of the field, Chancellor delivered punishing hits in the box, and Thomas seemed to be everywhere at once. In 2013, Seattle's defense ranked first in points allowed, yards allowed, and turnovers forced, a true trifecta of dominance. Super Bowl 48 showcased their might in stunning fashion. Facing Peyton Manning's Denver Broncos, the league's top offense at the time, the Seahawks erupted for a 43-8 victory. From the very first snap, a botched snap resulting in a safety, to the final whistle, Seattle's defense overwhelmed Denver at every turn. Russell Wilson, then in his second season, managed the offense with poise. But the star of the show was clearly the Legion of Boom. They proved a defense could still be the star attraction in a league increasingly geared toward pass-heavy attacks. Their success reverberated across the NFL, prompting teams to invest more in press corners and ball-hawking safeties. Though injuries and contracts eventually dismantled the Legion of Boom, their run remains a testament to how a well-coordinated punishing defense can still rule the day in the modern era. Number 3. The Brady Dynasty. Part 2. As if leading the Patriots to 3 rings in 4 years wasn't impressive enough, Tom Brady delivered a sequel that redefined longevity in professional sports. After some tough playoff defeats, most notably to the New York Giants, Brady and Bill Belichick reignited the Patriots dynasty starting in 2014. New England reached 5 more Super Bowls, winning 3. Super Bowl 49, Super Bowl 51, and Super Bowl 53. His meticulous diet and training regimen, famously revolving around pliability, defied the norms of football aging. 2 of those championships became instant classics. In Super Bowl 49, a last-second interception by Malcolm Butler at the goal line sealed a 28-24 win over the Seahawks Legion of Boom. Then came the jaw-dropping comeback in Super Bowl 51 against the Atlanta Falcons, where the Patriots erased a 28-3 deficit to win in overtime. A rally so improbable it spawned endless memes and t-shirts. Brady's unyielding will to win, combined with Belichick's obsessive attention to detail, kept the Patriots atop the NFL hierarchy. Just when skeptics wondered if his magic would fade, Brady stunned the sports world by joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at age 43. He promptly led them to victory in Super Bowl 55, overpowering Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. That seventh ring left little room for debate about Brady's place among the all-time greats. Through 2 decades, multiple supporting casts, and a change of scenery, Brady has shown that age can be just another number if you're disciplined enough. His legacy as the GOAT, greatest of all time, seems firmly etched in stone. While other superstars have come and gone, Brady's presence loomed large, reminding everyone that sometimes the best way to silence doubters is to keep hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Number 2. The Mahomes Era. Next is the high-octane era ushered in by Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Head coach Andy Reid had long been recognized as an offensive guru, but the arrival of Mahomes, drafted 10th overall in 2017, pushed the Chiefs into another realm. By his first year as a starter in 2018, Mahomes erupted for 5,097 passing yards and 50 touchdowns, earning MVP honors and leaving jaws on the floor. He delivered improbable passes while scrambling sideways, flipping the ball underhanded, or slinging it sidearm. The Chiefs quickly became perennial Super Bowl contenders, winning it all in the 2019 season, Super Bowl 54, and returning to the big game the following year. Mahomes orchestrated remarkable comebacks, including erasing a 24-point deficit in mere minutes against the Houston Texans, an explosion that showcased his lightning-fast scoring potential. Tyreek Hill's blazing speed and Travis Kelce's exceptional route running made Kansas City's offense nearly impossible to contain. Even in defeat, such as the Super Bowl 55 loss to Tom Brady's Buccaneers, Mahomes managed to dazzle with outrageous throws that defied the laws of physics. His dual ability to dissect defenses in the pocket or improvise on the run symbolized the next generation of quarterbacking. Dubbed by many as the face of the league, Mahomes represents the pinnacle of this modern gunslinging era. From improbable no-look passes to last-second heroics, he brings a college-style flair to the pros that keeps defenses guessing and fans glued to the screen. With Andy Reid's creative play design and Mahomes just hitting his prime, the Chiefs' dominance doesn't look like it will slow anytime soon. The Mahomes era exemplifies the power of innovation, blending raw talent with a backyard football mindset that leaves defensive coordinators in constant panic mode. Number 1. The quarterback revolution. Rounding out our journey is the quarterback revolution, where dynamic, dual-threat playmakers like Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen are shattering old assumptions about what a quarterback should be. No longer is the NFL dominated by stationary passers patiently standing tall in the pocket. These new-age quarterbacks use their arms and legs to torch defenses, turning what looks like a busted play into a 50-yard gain. From college spread concepts to pro-level audibles, these quarterbacks are reshaping the game's playbook daily. Lamar Jackson, the 2019 MVP, redefined rushing from the quarterback position by setting the single-season record with 1,206 yards. His jukes and breakaway speed leave linebackers grasping at air. Josh Allen, with his rocket arm and bulldozing running style, has revitalized the Buffalo Bills into a perennial contender. Jalen Hurts nearly guided the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl triumph in the 2022 season, showcasing a blend of power, speed, and leadership rarely seen at quarterback. Data analytics also plays a key role. Coaches rely more on advanced metrics when deciding to go for it on 4th down, embracing RPO run-pass option plays, and running play action to freeze defenses. This approach keeps defenses on their heels, as they must account for the quarterback as both a runner and a passer on every snap. Critics worry about wear and tear, but the results speak for themselves. Younger fans especially love the highlight reel excitement that comes with multi-talented quarterbacks dancing through defenses. This revolution is far from over. If anything, it's accelerating. Dual-threat quarterbacks force defensive coordinators to reimagine containment strategies, requiring faster linebackers, more flexible coverage schemes, and never-ending vigilance against big plays. As the league evolves, the quarterback revolution stands as a testament to the NFL's relentless push for innovation, proving that great ideas and greater athletes can always reinvent the game. That wraps up our whirlwind tour of the NFL's greatest eras, from leather helmet legends to today's dual-threat superstars. Each chapter told a story of evolution, where grit met strategy and iconic teams forged everlasting memories. Jokes aside, if you love football, these eras are proof that there's always something new around the corner. Hope you found this video helpful, and we'd love to have you along for more NFL deep dives. Subscribe now and join our community of die-hard football fans. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time on the Gridiron.